Love them or loathe them? Love them or loathe them? There's a lot going on with the royal family, as always. Firstly, a judge has ruled that Prince Andrew, Duke of York's US lawyer, can be served with those legal papers in a sexual assault case filed by Virginia Giuffre. It follows a dispute over whether the prince has been formally notified of the civil claim against him, which, of course, he absolutely denies and has consistently denied. Plus, utter intrigue. Prince Philip's will is to remain secret for at least 90 years to protect the dignity and standing of Her Majesty the Queen. Joining me now is my regular commentator and very close friend on all matters regal and everything, the great Charles Rae, who I first knew, if you've not heard me say this before, when we worked together as industrial correspondents back in the days of Margaret Thatcher. Charles, great to see you. No mucking about. I mean, when I read that about the Duke of Edinburgh's will, I thought, that's really, really intriguing. Am I being naive? Is that just par for the course for a senior royal's will to be kept secret for 90 years, or is there something else going on?
No, it's par for the course. I mean, they just want to seal it. I mean, I would like to think I'd be around for it, but clearly, Alistair, I won't be, because I think it would be a fascinating read. No, they tend to seal these things. The 90 years is not a standard. There have been other royal wills that have been sealed for much lesser time, but it's usually what happens. I mean, I obviously don't know what's in the will. Maybe there are things in there that we orcs shouldn't hear about.
Well, that how interesting. But purely in terms of, like any family, when a senior member dies, although people never admit it publicly, word goes around the family, oh, I wonder who's going to get this and who's going to get that, particularly if it's a very wealthy person. And when the Queen Mum passed away, she came from a very wealthy landowning Scottish family in her own right, and publicly it was made known that Burke Hall, her Scottish home, was going to go to the Prince of Wales because he loved her and loved it and what have you. The interesting truth about the Duke of Edinburgh is he had virtually no money at all when he came to this marriage.
No. This was a man who was born in a cardboard box on a table in a Greek island in Corfu. So he had absolutely nothing. But I bet his will now shows that he had a fair penny or two. And I'm sure that there are certain things that, as you quite rightly mentioned about the Queen Mother, she wanted to give certain things, and she gave Harry a huge amount of money because obviously he was the spare. But I'm sure that already there have been things that the members of the family have been given or have been said, like, this is going to be yours or whatever, as a memento to keep. Because, I mean, he was the centerpiece of the royal family. Yes, the Queen was the Queen, but he was the one who, he did all this sort of knocking of heads, and it's a great pity, Alistair, that he's not around today to knock a few more heads together.
Yeah. We'll come to that literally in 1 second. Because no, just want to pick up on something that you spotted there, because of course, and you know my passion for horses, but one of the things that is known is that the Duke of Edinburgh, that beautiful Carlton and carriage and ponies, has gone to Sophie and Edward Wessex's little girl.
Louise. And
that one is good. OK, fine. So were he around banging heads together takes us very neatly, because I know exactly what you're up to, Charles Rae. Give us the latest within all of the legal constraints that we have to accept about the Duke of York.
Well, let's start off by saying the Duke of York denies any of the allegation and has, said right from the start that he wasn't involved in it at all. However, what we have is a very, very bad week for the Duke of York. The Virginia Giuffre's lawyers and legal team have been slowly chipping away at every blockade that Andrew and his legal team have been putting up. The court in New York has said it can be served. The court in the UK, the High Court, which has the figurehead of his mother, the Queen, has said they will facilitate these the serving of these documents. Andrew is currently trying to go against that. He wants to stop that. Again, another point of chipping away. And yesterday, the court in New York refused to unseal which is what Andrew's people wanted, the document of 2009, which showed that Virginia Giuffre had done a deal with Brian Epstein, sorry, Beatles Day, with Jeffrey Epstein, to not sue him or his friends. And now that's going to stay sealed and it will not form part of the case. So that barrier has been removed. We now have great pictures in the papers this morning. I don't know if you've seen them, of a lovely white envelope being pushed through a Royal Mail letterbox addressed to the Duke of York at Windsor Lodge with a lovely stamp with his mother's head on it. Now, these are the papers which the court says he has to accept. And it'll be interesting. He's got 7 days to answer whatever it is in those papers. And we know that it's accusing him of various sexual acts with this girl who was 17 at the time. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks for him.
I should say so. Charles, keep in touch and we'll talk again about it very soon.